What's happening, guys? We are back for another Little Mix reaction. Looking forward to checking out the girls once again. It's been a few months. If you're new here, I'm a communication skills coach, and on this channel, I react to all different types of people's conversations, interviews, and presentations. If you haven't yet, do me that favor, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I need your help. Okay, without further ado, let's get into Little Mix. I'm looking forward to seeing them again. We've got Leanne, Perry, Jesy, and Jade. Didn't know their names before. I know their names now. Looking forward to diving in. Okay.
Hi, we're Little Mix, and this is Pop Buzz's most impossible Little Mix quiz. Is that right?
Yeah, you did it.
Well done. Took you shining moment.
Question 1.
Okay, so this is way different. The interview that I reacted to before, they were all sitting down and they were sort of far away from the camera. Jade's looking different. She's already looking more confident and more engaged. So if I have this correctly, I've got Leanne on the left, I've got Jade next to her, then Jesy, and on the far right, we've got Perry. I think I've got that correctly. Let's go.
I think it was Four and Orion.
Correct.
Well remembered.
I think I might have broke my little finger.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit aggressive.
It's very
I'm
aggressive.
a bit scared.
I nearly broke my pinky. I didn't even hear the question, I just wanted to buzz.
Yeah, Perry comes across as very confident. She's not afraid to look into the camera. She makes real eye contact with people when she looks at them. She's not worried about being seen. Everything about her body language is telling me that she comes across as a very confident person.
Me.
Ah! I was Alex!
80!
Yes! Oh, that was a trick question.
Jesus.
We should have thought more. Should have thought more.
Got too excited.
You know, Jesy to me looks like she's actually the most reserved. Like the other girls, Jade, Leanne, Perry, they seem very expressive, like instinctually.
Ah! I was Alex!
80!
Yes!
When they get an answer correctly, like they're very engaged in the game. But to me, Jesy, she seems the one to be the most disengaged and the least expressive and maybe even a little more calculated and in control, as opposed to the other girls who seem to be just a little more off the cuff and natural.
How many times do you sing the word touch in touch?
Jesus.
Oh, that's too odd.
Just given that example there where she was just thinking about the answer, I'm just getting the sense that she's not off the cuff, not as loose, more just things are going on in her head.
Where did you film the Woman Like Me video?
Oh, I'm not sure about this game anymore.
Right.
What is the name of the bar in the No More Sad Songs video?
Oh!
Keep your eye on Perry. She's very expressive. I think that's part of the reason why she's so charismatic, is because she uses her gestures to communicate and make her presence felt.
What was it actually called?
Wild Beast.
The Wild Beaver Saloon. I knew it was something beaver.
Do you know that one? Do you know?
We work as a team.
Yeah, just like
It's a hairy beaver. That was close.
themselves.
You went first.
They feed off each other's energy, it seems like. There's a lot of mood contagion going on here and excitement amongst all of them. I feel like they bring a lot out of each other. They get excited being around each other. And just playing this game, they're just making it fun. Like, they're fun girls. They're all very competitive with each other. That's part of their fun, is being competitive.
Baddies to my left and to the right a little scarier.
He hasn't finished.
Doesn't matter. We know what it is.
There's a quick fire round.
Sorry, it just
But
takes
hold
a
on.
bit of time.
This has-
That is to my left, to the right, they're looking scarier. Rude boy, tell me, can you handle all hysteria?
Correct.
She's such a performer, Perry. Look at her. She's such a performer. That was great. Is Jade a little quieter? I know in the comments on my previous videos, some people were talking about how she's sort of the spokesperson in certain situations, but just from her tone, she seems a little more mellow. Leanne also a little bit more on the mellow, chilled out side. I feel like Jesy sort of has a duality about her. I feel like she could probably get really loud at points, but depending on her mood, might be a little more low key.
How old are all your ages added up?
Whoa.
That was
100?
Right, so we have
26 plus 27.
You're 26.
7. Right.
105.
106, but I'll give it to you.
Nice. I said this in the last video, Jade's very relatable to me. And obviously none of us are perfect, but I feel like in small ways Jade shows her imperfections and her vulnerability and her innocence.
And for that was tense. We're so competitive. Is it ridiculous?
Oh, I can't deal with it. It gives me
Actually
anxiety.
pathetic.
Yeah, I think it's because like she's actually getting emotional playing this game. Like she's having fun, but you can see some real emotions coming to the surface. Real excitement, real nerves, real anxiety. And I think that's part of why I feel like I can relate to her here.
Love this, but WTF is Perry wearing, oh my.
I know. Let it go, kids.
Yeah.
Get a grip. It's called fash.
I really enjoyed it.
Correct.
See how engaging Perry was with the camera there? She looked directly into the camera lens. So if you guys are doing video conversations, interviews, presentations, and you look directly into the camera lens, your audience is going to be so much more engaged with what you're saying, as opposed to looking off from the camera. So Perry, being the performer, superstar that she is, she has good camera presence in that way. And it's just a good communication tip in general, is to look directly at your audience. If you're doing it through video, look into the camera. Perry was very engaging there.
Leanne's boots are higher than my IQ.
Yeah.
Correct.
Woohoo! Nobody stands Little Mix more than us.
And Leanne's comfortable in front of the camera too. I mentioned this in my last video. Leanne just seems like the cameras don't bother her at all. And she seems very relaxed and comfortable in her own skin. But yeah, like I said from the beginning, I'm sure Jessy's a cool chick, but she definitely seems like she's the most in her head here.
Guys, this is where I crumble. Oh, for fudge's sake.
Was Jesy texting there? She's behind Perry. It looks like maybe she's looking at her nails or doing something. Like, look at her body language here. It's like they're all engaged and listening, and Jessy's doing something in the back there.
Oh, for fudge's sakes. Maybe I should draw. Because we've been here
Well,
before,
I've got a
Jess.
guess.
You put pictures on the board and my mind goes blank.
Go.
Texting. So maybe there's something serious going on in her life at this point, which is completely understandable if that's the case, right? Because like I said, I did get the sense that she's in her head. So perhaps there is shit going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And that's something we need to remember when we look at these celebrities. Like, they're not always going to be on. They're not always going to be engaged. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, the personal issues that they're dealing with. They're still real people.
Oh, God.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and just you can see Jesy like trying to get into the activity, whereas the other girls are kind of like naturally in it. It almost seems like, okay, she has to like take that extra bit of energy to focus in and like care about this activity.
To a boy, shout out to my ex.
No. Oh, God.
Big balls, is it?
No! How did you do this? What is this hand doing?
These girls are jokes. Jesy was jokes there. These girls are jokes, man. They're kind of just off the cuff. They're funny. They kind of have a dirty sense of humor. It seems like a little bit more of a vulgar sense of humor. And they're just fun. I mentioned this in my last video. They seem like how girls from the UK would really speak amongst themselves. Just, they're off the cuff. I think that's probably what makes them relatable. And I'd imagine a big reason why so many of you guys really like them is because they're just relatable and they don't really filter themselves, it doesn't seem like.
Can we get this?
Strip!
Correct.
Look, we've all got the tits out.
So we have the final scores. This team here, 9 points. Very good. Very respectful. This team here, 10 points.
What? In the butt. What?
You notice how we found out that Perry and Jesy won and they weren't celebrating with each other. Perry immediately went to Jade and Leanne and kind of like rubbed it in their face and was teasing them. To me, that's a sign that like she feels a little more connected with them. Perry, Jade, and Leanne were more engaged with the game. They were having more fun.
What? In the butt. What?
Yeah, Jesy doesn't seem to care whether she won or lost this game, but She's still a very, I feel like, very aware person, Jesy, like who probably has a good read on people. Like I caught her throughout the game looking at different people, looking at Leanne's reactions, looking at the producer. I often find that people who have good reads on people are people who might be in their head a little more because they're more focused on the environment as opposed to being present in the activity at hand. So they're constantly being analytical. I know I used to experience that a lot in my life, and I still do. I'm a very analytical person, obviously. This is what I'm doing. I'm analyzing people.
We've been Little Mix, and this has been Pop Buzz's in someone else.
We're Little Mix, and this has been Pop Buzz's Most Impossible Quiz.
Obviously, not every group has a leader, and it sounds like Jade has her own leadership qualities. I'm sure Leanne and Jesy have their own as well. But in these settings, like the star, the superstar, the one with the charisma is certainly Perry. But I like these girls. They're fun, they're funny, they've got like this vulgar sense of humor. They seem like they have a natural, like genuine dynamic. They really like each other. I can see why they're really popular. If you want to see the full extended uncut version of this video, you can. It's on my Patreon page. You can click the link below. I've got a ton of other bonus content that I think you'll really enjoy on my Patreon page as well. Other than that, I appreciate you tuning in. My name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.